everyone, I'm Rachel. I'm really very happy to be here today to share a little insights on two, how I work as a two. Yeah.
And thanks so much for coming, Rachel. I mean, she was really busy and just come over flying over from Vietnam and busy with helping many people. So really, she can come in and help me with this panel.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Yeah, okay.
Thank you. So, first of all, Rachel, how do you know you're type 2?
Initially, Kai is my friend. So she brought. I met her through the other meetup group, but she shared with me about Enneagram, like how she turns upon and how she read up and it helps her. So she brought me to one of Bingjun's session. And before that, I actually did a test that Bingjun actually listed out in the meetup group, and I got a 2-3. So I was there then through his sessions, and he explained the qualities. And initially, I was like quite caught up with like 2s and 9, because 9 there's quite a number of similar qualities as well. But after that, I realized that I observed myself, and then Kai actually did lend me a book, and the Enneagram book, and I read up, and I think that 2 fits me the best. Yeah, so that's how I settled for 2.
Great, thanks for sharing, and especially thanks for pointing out that 2 and 9 are often commonly confused, and they are lookalike types. So they're one of the 2 positive outlook types. So it's glad that you're able to find your home type after questioning the 2 together.
Yeah.
So we all looked at the 8 good qualities just now. So which of these 8 qualities do you identify with?
I actually resonate with like all. Just now it's called like all. But I think that if I were to point out which are the few main points that I can resonate best, will be the relationship oriented, and the other one is like helpful. Because I'm a self-employed, so I'm a full-time tutor, and I do run my online business as well. So last time I used to work in the corporate world, and I don't feel really happy, because I think that I didn't do anything that is really useful to help people and what. I don't feel like myself. Then after that, because something happened and I came out, and then I went back to teaching line, and then I started to help kids. Then I felt that when I see the little kid start to grow and whatnot, it makes me feel really very happy, and it's there's a sense of achievement. And I love to hang out with people a lot. So I'm someone, if my friends want to know me, I'm someone who will never be alone, because I love to hang out with people, a lot of people, as many people as I can. I'll feel happy. So probably that's pretty much. And the another point that I would point out, probably I'm not a romantic kind of person, but like what Bingjun just mentioned, I'm not I don't really like to see miseries, like those people who's very miserable, or those very sad things, very scary things, all this. I'll try to stay away from it. But if I were to come across that, I'll try to reason out with myself that maybe I should help them and whatnot. So it will still goes back to what other qualities going to bring me to help them. Yeah, for that part.
Thanks, great sharing that. And I like you pointing out some of the twos on the top of the heart center. So you have 2, 3, and 4 in the heart center. So 2 is kind of the sunny side of the heart center, whereas 4 on the opposite side is drawn to maybe pain, suffering, and a lot more of the darker aspects of the heart. And 3 is kind of in the middle. So you have a really great example. And I also like what you said about relationships, about always being around people. So 2s are also known as, and we're talking about the sunny side of the heart, to have a more positive outlook. So how do you see yourself someone who is able to see the good in most situations, and give any examples on this?
I wouldn't say that I'll see good in all situations, because I felt that we were bound to meet sad things, things that there's a lot of challenges. I mean, we are human after all. But I think what makes a 2 might be different is that I pick myself up very fast, when I meet challenges. So to pick up one example is when I'm 26 this year, so when I'm 23, the company that I'm in actually falls down. So I was retrenched at the age of 23, and I couldn't find jobs for quite a period of time. So I was really depressed. So every day was like at home, and everything I do is like, there's no negative thoughts. No, I'm not happy with everything. But I pick myself up quite quickly with the people that I hang out with, my family, my friends. They encourage me. That I start to read up a lot, and I start to see the good in everything. Then I start to, hey, why not I just go back to teaching? I start to go back, I start to slowly find myself to see what is it I really like. And yeah, I'm happy as I am right now.
Great, thanks. You can see your positive outlook shining through here. Teens are also known to be empathetic, and that's one of the points here. And you kind of basically know what other people need. And I talked about superpowers, that each of the types has a superpower. So twos have a superpower in instinctively knowing what people need. And what to do for them. So can you give us a peek under the cover of how this superpower works in your life, and how is it that you're able to quickly attune to the needs of others?
I think that I felt that I like to observe the people around me, like when I'm traveling, like on the road, during like when taking transport and whatnot. I will observe the people around me. If I felt that person is really lost and I really need some help, I don't mind whatever people think. I will just walk up and I will just offer my help. Like examples, like there's a lot of times when I'm in a traffic light, it was like raining, and then I have this umbrella, and then there's like a couple of people around me that doesn't help lah. So I'll just pick the one that is really the nearest, or most of the time I'll find the one that I felt like the one that need my help the most lah. So probably the elderly, the ladies or what, I'll just offer to share out. Although my umbrella is really tiny, but I think that, I'm going the same way, so why not? There's nothing much that for me to lose. And there's a lot of things that I think that if I'm able to help, I will just help. Even if like not in terms like monetary cost, like if I can, I will help. But if not, I thought that there's like the Chinese saying that 有钱出钱有力出力, is it? Right? So I just try my best to help whoever that I can. So that's
great. Yeah, thanks for those examples of how you show help in practical ways, whether it's helping someone an umbrella or giving them what they need. And what is it about you like helping people? Do you found it energizing?
Yeah. I really enjoy it because I thought that I made someone's day and they made my day as well. But I think this kind of helping, right, is a very big word. So anything can be helping as well. But what I enjoyed doing is that I felt next time you can try. Whenever that you're going to board bus, then if you're going to end at the interchange, right? Try to go from the front and tell the uncle thank you, because like a thank you, you're helping him to become better. Like his day is brightened. Not many people will do that. The uncle will probably like be very surprised. So every day, if I'm going to do that, I will tell the person like thank you. Like, or if I were to go to a restaurant or whatnot, what I would like to do is like to help people. It's like I'll tell the waitress or waiter that because most of the Singapore restaurants is in Chinese, like they're Chinese lah. So I just tell them like 辛苦你了, that kind of thing. Because people like every day they get scolded all the time. You don't feel good. So this is things that I enjoyed helping them, because by doing that, I hope that maybe I always imagine that if I'm them, I will hope that people will do that to me as well, so that at least I feel appreciated, or there's whatever shit that I went through, this is it brightens up my day. So I really enjoy helping people, even if the person is not going to help me back or whatnot. But there's nothing that I lose to make a world a better place.
Yeah, this really great example of how helping works in the two. It's not naturally for many types to feel that kind of uplifting, being uplifted inside when you help people. And for twos, they really enjoy helping people. I also like how you say you make the world a better place by in the small things that you do every day. And relationships are very important in the heart center, and it's also important to a two, how they're seen and perceived by others. And twos are generally also able to shift how they present themselves in relationships to make a good connection and build better relationships. So you can talk a little bit more about how relationships, what they mean to you.
Like I mentioned earlier on, I love to hang out with people, I love to make friends, and I do cherish like every friendship or the family members, and once I be friend with you, I'll just put in all my trust, because I felt that it's like a two-way thing. If I'm going to trust you, yeah, I know that the trust is like, it's going to come back. So I do, if last time I used to get very upset, like if there's something that hiccups or what in the relationship, but I'll take a lot on myself on that, because I cherish every relationship very, very much. Like anything happen, I will find a way to actually resolve the situation. That's how much it matters to me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. I mean, when I'm at two, I also find myself absorbing a lot of emotional energy from people who are down, and I actually feel their pain and feel exactly what they are feeling. So, what can you talk a little bit more about some of these challenges you faced being a two?
Probably because I hang out too much with people, and because I'm a self-employed, then there's a lot of times like I have my meals in odd hours, so definitely you can't find anyone to eat lah, right? So at the start, I'll feel very upset. Like there's no one for me to eat together with. I have to walk alone. Last time I can't. Last time, if you ask me for a walk here to the MRT station, I probably will feel like dying. Like I was like, I'm alone. Is there anyone who wants to walk together with me or whatnot? I'll feel like dying. Then you ask me to eat alone is another level to me lah, okay? So I feel really very upset. But as you grow, I start to think that okay, why don't I adjust myself to find a new norm for myself? So what I do is that after a few months of adjusting, I will tend to find people in the food court. I mean, there's a lot of empty seats. I'll just find people who's sitting alone. Well, there's someone opposite of me I can eat with, right? So I'm not alone, right? So sometimes if I feel bored, I'll just talk to the person beside me. Or I just make friends. So yeah, I have a lot of strangers friends. And we became good friends after that. Really, so that's how, because I can't be with my friends, family, and I just make friends lah. That's how you actually feel better, But sometimes I'm okay to be alone, because I felt that sometimes I need to be alone. So when I have to clear my thoughts or what, I wouldn't mind to eat alone and just quickly settle my meal, and then and I have free time. Like I shared with you before, that sometimes I have quite a number of free. There's like cancelled class here and there, so I'll just tend to walk around the mall. Then I don't shop alone, right? I walk in the shop and talk to a person in the shop lah. So that's how I surround myself with people, which I think is a bad thing that I would like, not really a bad thing, but probably I need to rely on people and all. But I think that I can find strength or what to know more people. That's probably two. Yeah.
Thanks for that. I mean, I really like the example of how you go into like a food court and when you're eating alone, you just find someone to talk to. Any other examples?
Oh yeah. Another thing is that because twos like to give a lot to people as well, like be it your friends or whatnot. So there's a lot of times your friends know that you will be there. So sometimes they, not saying they do it on purpose, but probably they take it for granted as well. So that's where we feel hurt. They are like, okay, when they are sad, they look for you. Then after that, they are not there. They just forget about you. Like probably they contact you like 2 years later. I have a lot of things like that. You feel very hurtful when you try to contact them, but they just don't. Yeah, they just like, okay, I'm fine right now, that kind of thing. So sometimes giving a lot, you tend to like what Victor said, absorb a lot of my energy. So with that, I think I found a balance that today I always tell myself, I touch my heart. I tell myself I did my best. I'm not gonna put that in mind to make myself feel sad about that. So that's one part that I'm trying to I'm still improving on. Yeah.
Yeah, I really get what you're being like this. I mean, you feel burnt out when you when you help them, and especially when they take your helpfulness for granted. And then now you're slowly starting to create some intentional space between you and them.
Yeah.
I also find that many twos report they find it hard to get in touch with their own needs. They know what other people need and what they want, but their own needs are kind of a little bit of a blind spot to them. So how do you feel about this?
Yeah, it's really true that I don't really know what I want. I don't know that is this what I really need or what not. But I know that my friends need me. I know that they need this, that I know. If I can give, I give. But if I can't, then I just try my best lah. But how I like how I improve myself like as the years goes is that my cousin, I'm very close with my family, so I'm very close with my older siblings as well, so they will point this out for me ever since I'm young. They say that do you know that sometimes you need to think about yourself as well. You're important as well, it's not only others, you know. So yeah, I didn't know about this. I didn't know that I don't even ask myself questions and stuff like that. So I start to gain more self-awareness. So my cousin starts to lend me a lot of books. So I love reading, so I read a lot of books, those self-enrichment books, Enneagram as well. So I start to observe and yeah, I do write down what I really want in my life, and that's how I slowly find back my own needs. Yeah, I think it's really important to like I tell you to reason out with yourself, like if you're gonna do this, is it right? Is this what you really want? Are you really happy? Sometimes you need to be happy to give spark to others. There was once my friend actually, one of my good friends, she actually pointed out this to me. They said that okay, I think there's a picture. There's a picture that circulates online. It's like there's one line that has like one bird. There's another line that has a lot of birds. Because there was a lot of time I tried to fit into the crowd. I try to cater to everyone. But I don't feel, sometimes I just feel very exhausted. I don't feel happy. So sometimes I just give myself up. But I feel very sad that I felt like I'm outcasted. So my friend asked me, which one do you notice first? So definitely the one that is like the one bird on top lah, right? Correct or not? Then she told me this thing. She said that you have to remember that you have to stand out of the crowd, light up your own light to light other people. Like you need to light up your own light before you can light other people's light. So this is why it's important to know your own needs before you can cater to others. So that's how I try to improve myself. Like still ongoing, but I think it's like a lifelong journey.
Yeah, this is a wonderful example, the isolated bird out there. It's really quite amazing that you are your life is surrounded by friends and families who are able to balance you and help you kind of maintain that sense of getting in touch with your own needs. And I guess we also talked about with Kai how the Enneagram is all about developing your internal world. So what are some of the other things you're working on to develop your inner life?
Like I mentioned, I'm actually a 2 wing 3. So 3 is actually it's like more goal oriented. Yeah. So because I'm still working on my career, so sometimes I know that I spend too much time with emotional stuff, with my friends stuff. Now I'm trying to work towards like to focus more onto like achieving my own goals. And actually, there's another point that I wanted to share is that time I actually met up with Peng Chun, and he told me that to be happier too, sometimes you need to be more independent. So that's a 5, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think ever since then I actually practiced that as well, and it's okay to be independent. It's okay to be alone. That when you do that, you find more about yourself. Like I say, you light up your own light. So that's something that I'm trying to explore in probably the 3 and the 5.
Yeah, that's great. That's a really good share on how you're using the lines and the arrows in adjusting your life internally to become more independent and more goal-oriented, and less focused on your energy on helping others. Even though we do love that a lot too. And we all appreciate the 2s in our life. 2s make the world a more loving and compassionate place. We heard there are also some of the costs and the challenges that the 2 face. So how can we support you and the other 2s in our lives?
I felt that everyone there's a 2 inside us. It's just that because the society that we are in, sometimes we are too shy to actually reach out to people or whatnot. We felt that, will I be judged if I'm going to do this or not? But sometimes we think too much. Sometimes that person just needs your help. So I felt that as a 2, I think that it will be really nice that if everyone's going to bring up the two inside them, to just help anyone. It can be as easy as I say that just say a thank you to someone who holds the door for you, who press the lift for you. I mean, there's a lot of time we tend to forget about all these little things. So this is something that we can help to build the world a better place, and to help the twos as well. It will be really a joy to see everyone is like happy to help each other. Although I don't know you or the people around, that it will be nicer. And other than that, I felt that if let's say you have like a twos in your life, like your friends or family, if they were to help you, although they really is not looking into something that in returns or whatnot, but a thank you or like to appreciate that they are there is really good enough, because this is something that we know that we are, like what you say, we are needed, or probably we are appreciated. Yeah, so that's how you can do.
Yeah, I love this. I mean, it's really important that you appreciate the twos in your life and for all that they do for you, all the help that they're giving you. And I think you also mentioned some great examples about how we can all bring out the two in us to make the world a more loving and compassionate place. So you've been studying the Enneagram for just a few months now, but how has knowing more about yourself in these few months and watching your own pattern of behavior helped you in your everyday life?
Because I get to know this Chu Kai, and to be honest, because I'm very busy, so I didn't really have the time to read up in depth like all the types and whatnot. But I felt that before to know Enneagram, there's a lot of times that you couldn't put words to the actions that you do. You don't feel good doing this, that you don't know why. So by knowing Enneagram, it put words, it put explanation to the things that I do. And I was like, oh, okay, this is why I'm like that. Oh, this is why when I'm stressed I go do this. Oh, this is something that I have to be aware of, and I have to go to a fight. So to grow to be a better person. So Enneagram definitely helps me to the meaning, to have like an explanation to the things I do, and second, to be more self-aware. This is something that I think some of the twos is lacking on. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really all about self-awareness, and actually one of the first things we learned in our training program is it starts with awareness. Once you start to be aware of your own thoughts, behavior patterns, then you can start to adjust them. But mostly you're not aware of what you're doing, you're just on autopilot. How many people today actually stop and look at themselves and say, why am I doing this? You just do it, you immediately react. You don't say, actually there's a reason why I'm doing this. And I can then say, oh, that's me again. I call myself. Oh, I'm just on autopilot. So you can start to adjust your thought and behavior patterns in order, like as Rachel mentioned, to adjust yourself so that you're more balanced. In the Enneagram, it's also a lifelong journey. I mean, it really is. The more you work with yourself, the more you can keep this information with yourself, the more layers you discover about yourself. So, what kind of changes have you seen already in yourself, and how you see yourself and how you see other people?
So probably I studied about 9 wings, and when I'm stressed, what types I went to. So I like what I mentioned. I gain more self-awareness. Then by being more self-aware, I tend to be more careful with the things and the decision that I do. And other than that. I'm still really exploring, but from what I observed from Kai, which is really, she has really applied into her life, and how it definitely helps to explore to more, to better relationships with others, So this is something that I really look forward to in like, to have more better relationship with others as well. Because twos is all about people, and people is like, how do you not really manage, but probably understand people better. Because sometimes I still feel like frustrated, like why is this person like feeling this way, why is they reacting this way. But sometimes this still boils down to us ourselves. We can't change others, but probably we can change ourselves and how we can see things. So I think in this case, Enneagram definitely will help me to improve on this.
Yeah, thanks. I really love how you put that. You can't change others, you can only change yourself. And part of working with the Enneagram, you do change yourself, and by changing yourself, it changes how you relate to and how you interact with others, and definitely it does improve relationships all around wherever you are, whichever people you interact with, you can use the Enneagram. So I just have one final question for you. So how can applying the good qualities of 2 help us become better people and help make the world around us a better place?
I think that I really like what Kai mentioned just now, that this world is miserable, and also I think that everyone is fighting a really tough battle that we do not know. I'm sure that a lot of us heard a lot of this, but it's true. We might not know what happened to the person we like, so we just have to be kind. If you guys have watched the cartoon that not cartoon, it's like the show, the guy, it's called Wonder. Okay, it's a movie, it's called Wonder. It's basically from a novel and they translated to a movie. So there's this saying that is really nice, which I resonate a lot. It's called to choose kind and to choose right, choose kind. So choose kind whenever it's possible. So just be kind to anyone around us that, whatever that's happening in this world, we can't control. It's not within our control. We can't kick off as well. So just change yourself and be kind as whenever you can. So I think that will probably change us as a better person as well and make this world a better place. So that's...
Yeah, thanks so much for that, Rachel, and for admonishing us to be kind to make the world a better place. So thank you, Rachel, for sharing with us your inner workings of the 2 and for everything you've shared with us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you.